Today's best music mix, Z94 KZOR. It's 45 degrees. We're going to end Rihanna a little bit early there because live with me on the phone, calling in, is, as promised, Lisa Williams from Lifetime TV Network's Life Among the Dead. Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm very good. It's nice to talk to you this morning.
Nice to talk to you, too.
My fiancé actually was the one that turned me on to your show, and I decided to give it a whirl and was actually fascinated by it. And every time on the TV show when it starts, during your intro, you always say, from the time you were a little girl, you've been able to do this. But until I read your book, which I'm all the way through, it was a great read.
Thank you.
2.5 years old.
I know.
Is when it started. And what I'm wondering is, that's usually when most people's memories really begin. Can you even remember a time that this hasn't gone on in your life?
I can't. No, I've only... All I ever remember is, obviously, you know, hands coming in through the walls and faces coming out of the walls. So it's always been with me. I can't remember a time where it hasn't.
That's incredible. And here's what I was wondering, too, even during your TV show. The difference that kind of sets you apart from a lot of other mediums and clairvoyants that we've seen on TV is that you actually can physically describe these entities that you're talking to, like how they look and how tall they are. And it's kind of a funny question, but when you walk into a room with 10 people you don't know, how can you tell who's a person and who's a spirit?
Well, normally the spirit's a little bit hazy and a bit foggy and a little bit transparent sometimes. But there has been times when I've actually walked in, and I've done it with a client. I've walked into their house and I've greeted the woman and I said, "Hi, how are you?" and turned to the man, "Hi, how are you?" And she said, "Who are you talking to?" I went, oh, him. Anyway, I think he's your husband. So, yeah, I mean, there's times where they do actually look very much 3D and normal.
It's a fascinating book. My guest is Lisa Williams, author and star of the TV series Life Among the Dead. Her book is out, came out last week. Most of your experiences are positive with clients, but you know there's some negativity in that world as well. And what I want to know is, have you ever been in session with a client and had encountered a spirit that instead of wanted to help them or talk to them or give them some useful advice or closure, which is what most of them do, have you ever run into one that actually had bad feelings toward the client or wanted to harm them in some way?
No, I haven't. I've had a couple of where the client said, you know, I've said, "Oh, your father's here," and the client said, "No, you can send him back where he came from."
Oh.
Yeah, but I've never really experienced it in that situation, but I have experienced it personally, where a spirit, a negative entity, actually came into my home, and it actually attacked my son. And, you know, as a mother, nothing attacks your son. And I ended up leaving the house and had to go back and find out what it was. And the only way he could actually get my attention, the spirit, was actually to go to my son. And he just needed to cross over onto the other side. He was very much an earthbound spirit. But, yeah, there are certain cases where I have had them come at me, not the client.
And that's the one that you referred to as Dracula in the book, right?
Yeah, that's the one, Dracula, in the book.
All right. So there are a couple of other negative experiences in the book as well. What would you say that probably the best experience you've had? You know, really giving somebody closure, or I mean, you've said that you've mentioned going to Vegas and winning big because you knew the cards that were coming up. But have you ever given somebody like just a real life-changing experience? What stands out in your mind?
Yeah, I mean, it was on the show. I actually spoke to a lady called Joanna who had lost her husband in Iraq. And, you know, she was really, really struggling with the whole losing of her husband. And it was such an incredible, moving experience for both of us because I don't think there was a dry eye in the production crew who was sitting behind the scenes, and me and her, we were both crying. And it was incredible because she completely turned her life around. She was really struggling initially, and now she's out actually dating, and she's got her life back. And it's incredible how many people turn their life around once they've actually had a reading and realize their loved one's fine.
So you're able to actually follow up with some of these people as well, like the woman in the book that you were talking about, the woman who had cancer.
Yes.
That you helped out as well.
Yeah, we're still in contact. We email, and she's been traveling around. And I mean, that's just such an incredible story. I even shocked myself with that. And you shock yourself quite often.
All right, so you're doing not only the not only radio interviews and things, but you've also got a book tour, and it's coming as close as Dallas, and you're going to be there on Friday. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah, I'm excited. I've never been to Dallas, and my son keeps saying, "Pick me up a cowboy hat." I'm like, "Okay, I will."
It's about 5 hours away from here, but that is what is that event? That's just a book signing, basically, and a meet and greet.
Book signing, yes.
Okay. I know that you've done some tour things because my fiance would love to go see you live in person. But are you planning on doing any more live shows anywhere?
Yes, I am. I'm coming throughout. I think I'm coming to Boston and around the Boston area next month. Also, we're planning a tour. On my website, people can actually submit the areas that they want me to go to. And all I've done is hand that list across to my manager, and we're hopefully putting a tour together, depending on where people want me to go. Because I'm very much for the people. I want people to obviously see what I do, and they can determine where I go.
My guest is Lisa Williams from Life Among the Dead on Lifetime, as well as the author of the new book, Life Among the Dead. And I've got to ask you, I'm dying to know this, and I think based on your message boards, a lot of other people are dying to know this. They're saying that Lifetime's not taking a third season of your show, but you in the book kind of indicated that you wanted to move in a different direction and not continue it. What's the status on the TV show?
Well, the TV show Life Among the Dead isn't being renewed as Life Among the Dead, but we are actually looking for guests for a new TV show, which we are hopefully going to be running again with Lifetime. And it's just because the format, we were very much structured into a certain format, and we wanted to explore a lot more. And we want to do things, we really just want to focus on the readings instead of going off and do Man on the Street and everything else, and the haunted stuff. And really hopefully give people closure and try to theme it, with lots of love and hope and understanding. So we are actually heading towards a new TV show now.
Excellent, man. I know people who are on your message boards because they were hurt, Lisa.
Oh, they were not
hurt.
happy little bunnies. They weren't happy.
Yeah, but it seemed to be a hit, and it was very compelling TV. You're talking to somebody here in me who figures that stuff is possible to do, certainly, but that probably about 80% of the people who charge for it or have a TV show can't do it as well as they claim. I would kind of consider you in that other 20%.
Well, thank you.
So it's good to know that you're going to have a TV outlet as well. When can we expect that to be getting off the ground?
Well, we're actually looking for potential clients at the moment, so people can go to my website and look for, in the navigation bar, there's a place where they can just click on for potential clients. That will automatically get submitted to the producers, and I think in the next 2 weeks we will start casting for that show, and I think I'll start filming it then possibly the next 6 to 8 weeks.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so it should be on in the fall, I think.
Excellent. All right. Well, we're definitely looking forward to that. Lisa, your book was great. My fiance and myself both finished it in about 2-3 days.
Wow, thank you.
And she's not much of a reader, but she was completely captivated by it.
Oh, that's lovely.
The book is Life Among the Dead. What is that website that people can go to one more time?
They can go to lisawilliamsmedium.com.
All right. Lisa, thank you so much for being with us. It's been a
Thank
fantastic interview, and we look forward to seeing you back on TV in the fall. Books in stores now. Thanks for being on the Z Morning Show this morning.
Thank you.